to take your calls in the first two segments, I guess technically the second and third segment of the second hour. And I'm going to take your calls, 1-877-789-ALEX, 1-877-789-ALEX. Open up the phone lines, and I want to hear from you. What would you like to thank President Trump for? I want to take your calls, and I want to hear from the audience today. What would you like to thank President Donald Trump for today? And there's so much. I mean, the jobs numbers, the repatriation of funds, the economy growing, unemployment down, killing political correctness, attacking the fake media, saving us from Hillary Clinton, putting his billionaire lifestyle aside to be the most scrutinized man on earth, making it cool to be patriotic again. What would you like to thank President Donald Trump for today? We're going to give the phone number out, 1-877-789-ALEX, and we'll take your calls. And I'm going to take your calls. I only have 2 segments to do it today, but I'm just going to get your calls. Just make it quick in the first 2 segments of the next hour. And just, what would you like to thank Trump for today? Because even though we have to combat the fake news and show you the clips of the Michael Moores and the Maxine Waters and everybody calling for violence and everything, it's really important for us, though, to rise above it. A, because it just drives them nuts that we don't sling mud with them. But B, because that's what it really is. It's just slinging mud with them. Like, oh, really, Michael Moore? You're going to sit here and act like you care about the Constitution now? Give me a break. You do films attacking the Second Amendment. You support Supreme Court decisions that go against the Constitution. I mean, these people think you're an idiot. Or maybe they're just an idiot. So we'll take your calls. What would you like to thank President Trump for today? So 2 segments, just call in, thank President Trump, and we'll move on to the next caller. Let's try to squeeze in 10 if we can. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, in the meantime, let's, speaking of the fake news, let's go to Jim Acosta. Now, this is, Jim Acosta, man. This guy is really insufferable. He's like 50 yards from Trump in a crowded room, and he literally sets up a fake news story, and he's like, Trump, are you going to stop attacking the media? And he pretends like Trump can hear him, and he obviously can't, and he's like, oh, see, it's Trump's fault. He won't respond. It's like, dude, you're like 5'2" behind a crowd, and you're a weakling. Nobody heard you. So let's go to CNN's Jim Acosta creating fake news in real time.
Mr. President, will you stop calling us the enemy of the people, sir?
Look at this pathetic...
Will you stop calling the press the enemy of the people, sir? Mr. President, will you stop calling the press the enemy of the people, sir?
Jim Acosta, what a pathetic sad sap. This is the meme. This is a new meme. This is like the Meryl Streep meme. So then he goes on air, and he does it. He's like, I asked President Trump if he would stop attacking the media, and I didn't get a response. Okay, excuse me. President Trump! President Trump! President Trump! Will you do something about the vaccine courts? President Trump, please address the vaccine courts. Well, President Trump ignored me. Right up the story. I just got ignored by President Trump. Unbelievable. That's Jim Acosta. I mean, what? I mean, that's CNN. It's just amazing. Jim Acosta. Look at this. How does Jim Acosta get into that position at CNN? Because he is the dumbest sad sack that will go out there and do this. That's what it is. And he thinks he's a hero. That's how delusional these people are. Wow. That is something right there. Can we go? Actually, let's play it again. Just for the sake of having fun today. Look at Jim Acosta. President Trump, are you going to stop? He's like 25 yards away. There's a room full of crowded people. It's loud. They're all cheering. Nobody can hear him. This guy is like a child.
The enemy of the people, sir. Will you stop calling the press the enemy of the people, sir?
Will you stop lying?
Mr. President, will you stop calling the press the enemy of the people, sir?
Jim Acosta, CNN, real news, we're real news, let me in, President. Wow. That is truly something else. All right, let's go to another miserable sad sack. Now, listen, this is incredible. Listen to Maxine Waters in clip 11.
I know that there are those who are talking about censoring me, talking about kicking me out of Congress, talking about shooting me, talking about hanging me.
Just makes it up.
All I have to say is this. If you shoot me, you better shoot straight. There's nothing like a wounded animal.
Did she just call herself an animal? Maxine Waters is racist against herself. If I would have called Maxine Waters an animal, it would have been front page news for Media Matters. Owen Shroyer's a racist, calls Maxine Waters an animal. Well, she just did it. So can I say it? Maxine Waters is an animal? No, we don't want to disrespect animals so much. But do you see what she's doing here? So she comes out. I mean, they're the ones calling for violence. This is not even up for debate. They're the ones starting violence. They did it in Charlottesville. They did it in Portland. They do it at all the Trump rallies. The Democrats encourage this. This is the Nazi brown shirt revolution that the Democrats are trying to lead in this country. It's going to fail, but they're going to go through with it. And then Maxine Waters stands up here like, oh, I'm getting threatened. People want to hang me and shoot me. No, they don't. If those threats actually exist, which I'm yet to see the proof of, she just says it, big mouth bass out of water, James Brown wig, that's the smartest wig I've ever seen. It talks. So she calls for violence, and then there's probably some fake Twitter bots that have fake threats against her, and then she said, oh, look, people are threatening me. President Trump's life has been threatened probably 1,000,000 times since he got elected because of people like you, liars like you. So where does Maxine Waters get off to sit here and act like she's being threatened? I doubt it's even true. Just to create a story to act like she's the victim when she's out there calling for violence. You know what it is, though? See, this is the key. This is, honestly, this is the key to victory long term. I'll use myself as an example. I left sports media, my dream job in sports media, because I had to. You need to run for office to get people like Maxine Waters out. That's what really this comes down to. Everybody has to realize what their role is in this war and step up. That's what you have to do. Now, Omar Navarro is running to unseat Maxine Waters. Can't get any love from the Republican Party at all. She's so vulnerable right now, and the Republicans won't even give Omar Navarro enough love to make him a national news story. Omar Navarro should be getting interviewed by every media outlet that claims to be news since Maxine Waters has been shooting off her mouth like a crazy animal. She called her an animal. She called herself an animal. I'm just using her own words. She called herself an animal, so I'm just saying she's a crazy animal. So think about it. I mean, as soon as she made those threats, I was like, all right, we got to get Omar on. We got to talk to Omar about this. What other news media does that? They don't get it. They'd still rather be loyal to Maxine Waters, an unhinged maniac, a threat to this country, a threat to national security. Oh, I just can't even believe this. I can't even believe Maxine Waters. I mean, wow. Look at Maxine Waters, a woman who's been in Congress for what, 30 years? What has she done? What has Maxine Waters done to get reelected, huh? What makes Maxine Waters so great? She's done nothing. She's a loudmouth. She's an agitator. She's a race baiter. She's a liar. She's a fraud. She's guilty of all kinds of ethics violations. They're just sitting out there.
Western Europe has already banned free speech, and an iron curtain of censorship is descending down over the UK. They're set to pass rules, not a law, that if you criticize Islam or gays, you'll get 6 months in prison. We know we're only about a year or two behind what's happening in the UK. CNN and many others are calling for InfoWars to be shut down, taken off the web. Slate magazine has a professor and others saying, go beyond censorship, brainwash young people against InfoWars, psychologically inoculate them with lies so they don't actually hear what we have to say. We are the most hated news source in the world by globalists. It is so critical that you go to Infowars.com/newsletter and sign up for the free newsletter so we can be in contact with you and so the censors can't bully their way in and block us being able to engage in free, open dialogue as a society. That is critical to this fight. We will prevail if you take action, and I know you will.